In the colorful town of Furfuri Nagar, where laughter usually filled the streets and children played happily in the dusty playgrounds, two best friends lived side by side. Everyone in the town knew them well. One was Motu, a cheerful and round man who loved eating samosas more than anything else in the world. The other was Patlu, a thin and intelligent man who always tried to solve problems with wisdom. But behind the laughter and jokes, life was not always easy for them. Both friends were poor. They worked very hard every day, but the money they earned was just enough to buy food for their families. Motu lived in a small house at the corner of the street with his wife, Meena. Their home was simple and old, with cracked walls and a leaking roof during the rainy season. But inside that little house lived the two brightest stars of Motu's life, his daughters. The elder daughter was named Gudiya. She was kind, gentle, and always cared for everyone. Even though she was still young, she helped her mother with household work and took care of her younger sister. The younger daughter was named Chinki. She was playful and cheerful, always smiling even when there was nothing to eat in the kitchen. Next door lived Patlu with his wife, Sushma. Their house was not very different from Motu's. It was small and humble. Patlu and Sushma had two sons. The elder son was Raju, a brave boy who dreamed of becoming a great officer one day so he could help poor people. The younger son was Sonu, a sweet and innocent child who loved playing with Motu's daughters. Every evening, the four children played together in the narrow street outside their homes. Their laughter echoed through the neighborhood, bringing happiness to everyone around them. But one day, something happened that changed their lives forever. A difficult time. One winter morning, Motu woke up feeling weak and dizzy. He tried to stand up, but his body refused to move properly. Meena became worried. "Motu, are you all right?" she asked softly. Motu tried to smile, but his face looked pale. "I think I am just tired," he replied. But he was not just tired. Later that day, Motu fainted while working. The doctor in Furfuri Nagar examined him carefully. After checking him for a long time, the doctor's face became serious. "You must take complete rest," the doctor said. "What happened to me?" Motu asked nervously. "You have a serious illness," the doctor explained. "You cannot work for many months." Those words were like thunder. If Motu could not work, how would his family survive? That night, Meena sat quietly in the dark corner of the house, tears falling silently from her eyes. Little Gudiya saw her mother crying. "Mother, why are you crying?" she asked. Meena quickly wiped her tears and hugged her daughter. "Nothing, my child. But children understand more than adults think." Gudiya looked at her sleeping father and felt something heavy inside her heart. Patlu's promise. When Patlu heard about Motu's illness, he immediately rushed to his friend's house. He saw Motu lying weakly on the bed. Patlu sat beside him and held his hand. "Don't worry, Motu," he said gently. "I am here." "But Patlu," Motu whispered sadly, "how will my daughters live? I cannot work anymore." Patlu's eyes became moist. "Your daughters are my daughters too," he replied. "As long as I am alive, they will never go hungry." From that day on, Patlu worked twice as hard. He worked in the morning, afternoon, and sometimes even late at night. But despite his efforts, money was still not enough. Food became scarce. Some nights, the children slept with empty stomachs. Yet none of them complained. The children's secret. One evening, Gudiya gathered the other children. Raju, Sonu, and Chinki sat quietly beside her. "I have an idea," Gudiya said softly. "What idea?" Sonu asked. "We must help our parents." "But how?" Chinki wondered. Raju thought for a moment. "We can work." "But we are children," Sonu said. "We can still do small things," Gudiya replied. From the next day, the children started their secret mission. After school, they collected old bottles, newspapers, and scrap metal from the streets. They sold them to a recycling shop and earned a few coins. Sometimes they helped shopkeepers clean their stores. Sometimes they carried groceries for elderly people. Every coin they earned was placed inside a small box hidden under Gudiya's bed. Day by day, the box slowly filled with coins. The children never told their parents. They wanted to surprise them. The stormy night. One night, a terrible storm hit Furfuri Nagar. Rain poured heavily. Thunder roared across the sky. The roofs of many houses began to leak. Inside Motu's house, water started dripping everywhere. Meena tried to place buckets under the leaks. Suddenly, Motu's condition became worse. He began breathing heavily. Patlu! Meena cried in fear. Patlu immediately ran to their house. We must take him to the hospital, he said. But we have no money, Meena whispered helplessly. At that moment, Gudiya ran to her room. She returned with the small box. Mother, she said, we saved this. Meena opened the box. It was full of coins. Tears streamed down her face. Where did this come from, she asked. The children explained everything. Even Patlu could not hold back his tears. These children, they are braver than us, he said. The money was enough to take Motu to the hospital. The greatest sacrifice. The doctor treated Motu through the night. But he needed an expensive medicine. Without it, Motu might not survive. Patlu looked at the doctor. How much does it cost? The doctor told him the price. It was far more than they could afford. Patlu walked outside the hospital silently. Then he made a decision. He sold the only valuable thing he owned, his small motorbike. That bike was his way to work every day. Without it, life would become much harder. But Patlu did not hesitate. For my friend, he said, nothing is too costly. A miracle. Days passed. Slowly, Motu began to recover. The medicine worked. The doctor smiled one morning. He will be fine. When Motu returned home, the entire neighborhood gathered to welcome him. Motu hugged Patlu tightly. I will never forget what you did for me, he said. Patlu smiled. That is what friends are for. The children's future. Years passed. The children grew older. Raju studied very hard and eventually became a respected officer. Sonu became a doctor who helped poor people without charging money. Gudiya became a teacher who educated children from poor families. Chinki became an artist who spread happiness through her paintings. One day, the 4 grown-up children stood together in front of their parents. They built new houses for Motu and Patlu. Strong houses with bright walls and safe roofs. Motu looked at his daughters proudly. Patlu looked at his sons with tears of joy. All the suffering of the past had turned into beautiful happiness. The lesson. The people of Furfuri Nagar often told this story to their children. They said, true friendship is stronger than any storm. And the love of children can heal even the deepest pain. Motu and Patlu remained best friends for the rest of their lives. And whenever they sat together eating hot samosas in the evening, they would smile and remember the difficult days that made their families stronger. Because sometimes, the greatest happiness is born from the